Welcome to Sabre Spotlight, where we cover Souhegan's weekly events, highlights. Welcome to Sabre Spotlight, where we cover Souhegan's weekly events and highlights from after-school activities to sports and other important events. I'm Lauren Adrianson.
And I'm Serenity. Let's take a look at this past week. Tate and I interviewed Brian Miller and Leslie Rendell about new additions to the school store.
The school store has been a part of Souhegan since the first year the high school opened, giving opportunity for its students to expand learning through hands-on material, like learning how to run a business.
So my name is Brian Miller. I am currently the help desk specialist role within the high school.
I'm Leslie Rendell, and I teach math at Division II.
Within the school store, I've kind of taken over, I guess you could say, as store management. Last year we kind of jumped into it as trying to get it open, and I stepped up into the role of trying to figure out what we need to do to make it happen and update a lot of things, so we got it all running smoothly and the way it is today.
And I was lucky enough last year to get involved with the school store so that it would actually be open. So this year I've taken all of my planning periods and I sit in the school store and having a great time. So I keep saying I'm the brawn to Brian's brain. So it's sort of at the beginning of last year, we did a little bit of research into things that kids might want to wear, so we increased the stock of the clothing and the style of the clothing. We also have different types of food that are available. Community Council took over popcorn, so we've got popcorn. Over the summer, Brian took a lot of time to make sure that the school store actually looked like a store, so he painted the back wall, moved things around, trying to make it a little bit more inviting so kids would actually want to.
We updated all of the clothing so that it was easy scan, so we created tags and barcodes for every item of clothing, apparel, or even the food and drinks as well, and popcorn, so that when somebody who's ringing out just easily scans a barcode and it just kind of brings the item in all together. It made things a little bit faster and efficient before you were kind of flipping through pages of just pictures to try and match and find the right item. So that was a huge improvement to the store. We made some, I guess, say, feng shui changes and the way that the store was set up, just kind of moving things around to give it a little bit of a different appearance as you walk in.
So when the school store opened, if you know where Paul's office is, Dan Weiberly's assistant, that was where the school store was. So it was a closet, and then it moved to John Young's office, which was an oversized closet. And then, I don't remember how long, a year ago, maybe 8 or 10 years ago, Regina Sullivan decided that they wanted to have something bigger, so they moved into the current space that it's in. And it has changed quite a bit with even the appearance at that point. At that point it was a class, so kids were actually assigned there every day all the time. Instead of kids doing it for community service, they did it as an actual course.
Thanks to these dedicated and hardworking faculty members, the school store had introduced a new kind of environment within the school.
Make sure to check it out.
A senior, Bella Blood, sat down with us to talk about Hype Development Day, Ethics Forum's latest event.
Hi, I'm Bella Blood, and I'm a senior at Souhegan.
Last Friday, members of Ethics Forum traveled to St. Anselm College for Hype Development Day. We sat down with Bella Blood, a senior, to see how the day went.
At Hype Development Day, I was an MC, so I was basically just kind of facilitating the day with 3 other people. Hype Development Day is just a piece of what Ethics Forum does to prepare for Hype in March.
Hype is a huge event put on by Ethics Forum each year where more than 1,200 students from over 80 schools come together at the University of New Hampshire to discuss an important and potentially controversial topic.
Hype is an event put on by Ethics Forum. It is the biggest event that Ethics Forum does. Hype stands for Hosting Young Philosophy Enthusiasts. So every year there's this big event where students from a bunch of different schools come and we talk about an essential question. Hype Development Day went really, really well. I was nervous because I've never emceed an event before, and I knew I was going to be helping out with Hype this year, but our mentor Chris just put me in the role of being an MC for the event, so I was nervous, but I was really confident in what we were doing, so it went really well. The topic for Hype 2020 is how and why is bias formed. At Hype Development Day, students from Souhegan Ethics Forum came and discussed and collaborated with about 6 other schools and decided the topic for Hype and the colors. So along with deciding the essential question and the colors and logistics about Hype 2020, we also had a presentation from some students in Ethics Forum from Souhegan, talk about a new rebranding thing we're going to try to do for Ethics Forum. We're still developing it, but it was really great to hear some ideas from other students.
With the essential question and colors determined, Ethics Forum is in full swing working on the nitty-gritty details of the event in the spring.
Sounds like you're hyped for Hype.
The past 2 weeks, student athletes Savannah Bain, Curtis Red, Izzy Aiello, and Daniel Trespass signed their official commitment forms for college athletes. Here are their stories.
After a very long process and all their hard work, this week student athletes officially committed to playing their sport in college.
My name is Curtis Red, and I signed to play lacrosse at Southern New Hampshire University.
I'm Savannah Bain, and I will play lacrosse at Butler University next year.
My name is Izzy Aiello, and I just signed to the University of New Hampshire.
My name is Daniel Trespass, and I'm committed to the University of Delaware. I enjoy playing baseball because it's like a distraction from everything else that goes on. I can just kind of focus on my own thing and zone in, and it's like next year when I go there, I'll have like 35 free friends right off the bat.
It takes my mind off everything else, and it makes life just easier for me to be able to go out and let my, aggression out and really get that sense of adrenaline.
It takes all of my stress away when I play it, and I've been playing since I was 6, so I've made so many friends over the last few years, and it's really been like my home away from home.
I'm really excited to play lacrosse. I couldn't imagine not playing a sport in college because I've played since I was young. I think my favorite part is going to be having like 20 built-in best friends already going into college.
When I finally signed, it was just a sigh of relief. Verbally committing really took a huge weight off my shoulder, but finally signing and knowing that it was official and my whole commitment, my whole college search was over was an incredible feeling.
The college process is really stressful, and it can get to you a lot, but once you find like your home and you have like no doubt, it's just one of the most relieving feelings in the world, which I was really happy about.
I was really excited when I committed because it was like a really big deal. I'd been working for it for a long time, and so like to have that hard work pay off felt really good.
Seeing it come to fruition really makes me happy, seeing it pay off. It was all worth it in the end.
What I would recommend is that don't be afraid to reach out to the school first. A lot of kids feel like they need to get reached out to first, and they don't end up getting the looks that they would like, and they don't end up either going to a college or going to a school that they would prefer to go to. So really don't be afraid to reach out.
I would give the advice to never leave any school out that reaches out to you. Butler was actually one of them that my dad made me go look at the campus, and I was like, I am not going to the Midwest, but when I stepped on the campus, I was like, this is where I want to go. So I would say don't go into the process thinking, oh, I'm only going to these certain schools, I want this, because you really don't know until you go to campuses and say, oh, I don't like this type of style of college campuses.
Make sure you're committing for all the right reasons, and you'll still be playing a sport and having a lot of fun, so make sure you find the right fit.
I'd say keep your head on straight, get your schoolwork done because that's the most important part. And pretty much, just stay focused, and it takes a lot more work than you think to play college sports.
Congratulations to all the signees, and thanks for great advice to future athletes.
Congrats.
And that's all for this week, Sabres.
We'll see you next week with some more news.